also give some credit to the E.M.A. office, right? Did Rochelle help out on this?
On the plan itself, I'm the chair of the L.E.P.C.
Yeah.
She will help
Yeah.
on some things like mapping and things like that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now we're all the way down to.
Thank you.
Approval and signing of the joint station minutes took place on August 12th.
Okay, I've reviewed those minutes and I've made a motion to approve as presented.
I would second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ken, you want to do the same?
Yeah, I'll entertain a motion from the council to approve the 8/12/2024 joint session minutes as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, and a second, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Passed.
Okay, and I had passed out to you the ARPA approved funding at this point, and then put some bullet points down at the bottom of this speculation of things that we maybe could use money for, or need to use money for in the future. But to quickly run down through this list, we have the ambulance. This is a first one at the board. We're having a little bit of an issue with the contract. It's, I guess Ford Motor Company was going to give us $3,500 as kind of a discount through the Ford Company. And then when we got the actual bill of sale, it was down to $100. So, and in the contract, it stipulates that there may be changes. That any change or deviation from this will result in the change of this contract price. So we do have a change, but we do have the invoice for that one. Paid for the coroner's freezer. The broadband, we set aside $50,000, and to this point, we've only spent out $15,000 to pay Scott Rudd, who was the consultant. I talked to Kurt, and he is assuring me that they will find a place for the other $35,000. But it's important that there's some type of invoice, a resolution that these ladies need to fill out the reports at the end. We do a backup generator for the JC that was spent. The Sheriff's Department wages for the third quarter, or fourth quarter rather, in 2023. And then as you can see, we have 400,000 in 24, 25, and 26. Those numbers out to the right indicate the salaries and then the Social Security. So putting those together, then you have your 400,000. That's if Laura did the math right.
No, that's a question. It's always a question.
Yeah. And then the clerk and the scanning fee, I think the actual invoice is 71 something, but they are still, have not completed the entire work. So we are holding on to that as maybe a little incentive for them to get the work completed. On the striker power lift, set aside 36 there. We have not received the final invoice. We talked to Jennifer, and there were some issues there. They sent the one that didn't have the correct ID number on it. They had to come and get it, bring the one that we were supposed to get. When they went to install, they didn't put in the rails that it slides in on. So there's been some complications there, but the invoice should be on its way fairly soon. Human Services, if you remember that, just a quick review, we need $36,000 to purchase to the vehicles. And we appropriated 16,000, and the other 20,000 came from a fund that Nathan had. Ordered vehicle, it has been purchased, paid the invoice for that 43,505. And right now, it's going through the process of getting it plated to the Bureau of Vehicle. Not too long ago, I forget which meeting it was, but Gary came in and talked about the county highway needing a new generator, and we said that we would split the cost with him. So that 49,000 is there for that. We have a local match. Never go with that CD.
Community development building grant.
Okay, community development building grant. That was kind of a matching grant. You needed $10,000 for, so we did that. The bullet points that I put on, and you're welcome to add bullet points tonight that you would want us to check into. Things we're still considering. The time clocks, we start with the remodels and so on, and it would be a good time to replace the old time clocks, and we set in on, 4 or 5 presentations of Reese, and ladies have narrowed it down to 2 that we're still looking at, but we think that can be, completed before time runs out here. And then our meeting with Roy, Laura and I meet with Roy the last Thursday of each month. Roy is our contracted IT group. We are concerned with they have a concern with how the fiber optics runs from the Justice Center to the courthouse. They say it's not the time of any junction boxes or anything. It should be a correct or direct connection. And I talked to him again today. They hope by Wednesday they would have been people here tracing it. And by Wednesday, you hope to have a final outcome of that, whether or not you can spend any money doing that. But from the group, are there any bullet points that we need to add? One time we had roofing down at the transfer stations in that area, and Doug already put that in his budget and was approved, so we took that off. But we're open to adding things that they weren't considered. You still have the 327,000 plus in hand. I know one thing that the council will be talking about tonight, they have 50,000 or so requests for additional appropriations. That could come from the 400,000 for this year. So,
The couple of things that were talked about was question whether we could take the EMS, the 50,000 that they're asking for overtime, and if that could be done out of the ARPA, and then the sheriff was requesting some overtime for part-time for jailers, overtime that he had also, whether that could be covered out of the ARPA funds, which was
total there, I think we have $5,000 for rent also, right?
So it's 55,000 altogether.
55 for EMS. Christian, what it was from the Sheriff's Department, what your request was?
I've got it for the council. I think I'll see it, wait a minute through it.
Yeah, Ken is working on that now.
It's 30,000 part-time jailers, 45,000 deputies overtime. It was 30,000 inmate meals because of the cost of meals, but there are 8,000 overtime dispatch. It says ARPA funds in parentheses.
Yeah, the meals, the 30,000 for the inmate meals was not part of the list for the ARPA funds. It's just the overtime and stuff. So,
Does that clarify for you?
So that's still covered at 4,000 euros.
Okay.
So it's kind of whether or not,
that's between E.M.A. and the 30,000, or the 55,000 for E.M.A., the 30,000, the 45, and the 8,000, it's $138,000 total. And I guess that was, we left it on the council agenda just in case, because the commissioners are, you guys manage that fund, so if you guys don't agree to it, then we have to find it. So I want to have that conversation before we went into our meeting. That way, if we still needed to discuss it in our meeting, we would.
That means roughly 190,000.
That's why I wanted to ask first if there's any other bullet points that the council sees that we need for. The salary funds are the greatest need right now.
Yeah, the council does, we are.
So that is council business then, or does the commissioner have to approve?
You propose for you to either say yes or no to E.M.A being included in the 400,000 that was originally designated for the sheriff's purpose.
Well, I guess that's my question, is the 400,000 is what we put in for the sheriffs. And so we're spending that all out every year, so there's no extra money in that. Because when we figured out what we needed to cover the wage increases and all, we didn't put extra money in there for covering any extra overtime or any extra, EMS or anything. So wouldn't this be money out of the 327,000 that's left? Otherwise, we're going to deplete that down.
400,000 covered.
We estimated 400,000 as the difference between what the sheriff's department was getting currently and what the raises were. However, when I went through and took out everything for the sheriff and estimated it out, we still had enough left that we could add in the EMS if you wanted to.
Okay, that's my question. I didn't know.
We could add in the EMS. Does that cover what Chris is asking for?
If it doesn't, I'll come back next month. That's all.
Yeah, because we could always bump a little once we get down towards the end. Again, this has to be identified by the end of this year, December. So, our next joint meeting, which would be in December, we'd hope to have a final sheet to go over and find out what happened.
So that, I guess I'm still, maybe I'm just slow, but the 400,000 was estimated high enough, because if I look at the 300 and some thousand for wages and the taxes, I know we estimated it a little bit high because we knew we'd have, some increases in pay scales or whatever, people moving up the matrix. But I can't imagine if we estimated $138,000 high for this year. Well, we can cover 138,000 out of.
I'm just talking the 55,000 out of what EMS is asking for. They're asking for $50,000 additional for overtime and another 5,000 for the director, I believe. That's the only thing that was added to it over and above what was coming from, what was being paid out of the sheriff's stuff.
So, yeah, well, like whenever we figure out the 400,000, we need to figure up them needing an additional for overtime and stuff in that money.
Well, you don't know that because you gave the raise, and so when you give more money in overtime, that can be included in it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I guess I just want to make sure that we have enough there. I guess I'm just looking to where they don't have to come back next month and ask for more money.
Well,
I know,
it's
so.
that time of year
Yes.
that you we have to run things in and, tweak them here, tweak them there to get to the end of the year. But I think it will cover it. I can't guarantee you that I won't be back next month to say, it comes.
I just want to make sure everybody's getting a paycheck and there's no hiccups on anybody's pay because we ran short of money or whatever. But we have that money and it's allotted for the sheriff's department. So as long as everybody's getting a paycheck and there's no hiccups on that, that's fine.
Okay, so I would make a motion that we cover the EMS request for the additional 55,000 overtime pay.
I would second that motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
With that being said, we would let the other just ride out to the end and see if anything else is, any additional appropriations are needed, or any additional funding extracted from the ARPA funds. Any other business? Maurice, have anything? No. Council have anything? None?
Does the council have anything they want to discuss in the joint session?
Okay, Commissioner, will make a motion to adjourn.
Yes, I would make a motion to adjourn.
Second that.
There's one thing I'd like to ask. I know we talked about advertising for the attorney's job a little bit. Is that where you're all headed with this, or when's that going to happen?
The actual job description,
Okay,
she wants to be included in that. Then it'll go out.
okay, thank you.
All fair say aye, did we do that?
No. Aye.
All right, we'll adjourn the joint session, the council portion of the joint session.